Welcome, guys. Joanna, I've been thinking about this event. Tell me if you think this is right or not. In terms of defense and offense, in a way, the iPhone SE and the iPad Air feel a little bit more like defense to me because they're not the flagship in those lines. The margin dollars aren't really there. But then if we get new M1, even M2 Max, that's where Apple's really playing offense in the PC market. What do you think is leading in what we might hear about today?
John, did you ask me this and not Steve? Because you know I'm not a sports person. I think I get it, though. I totally agree with you on the defense, on the iPhone SE especially, right? This is to get people at this lower cost, right, $399, into the Apple ecosystem, those who have been holding on to their older phones. I call this phone, the iPhone SE, the I hate change phone. So this is for the people who just want to hold on to that home button, like the smaller screen, don't want to spend $1,000 or more on a more premium phone. Obviously, today, a lot of people looking at 5G coming to that phone, as I've said on this show before. And John, I'm ready for you to hit me back, but 5G is not a reason to upgrade. 5G carrier deals are a reason to upgrade. And so I think we're going to see that obviously also moving this phone ahead. And on the Macs, I totally agree. Offense, right? They are really hitting Intel and the other PC makers where it hurts with these M1, possibly M2 chip that we're going to hear about today. Just, I'm on one of those computers right now. It is fast. It runs really cool. The battery life is great. All these things that the other PC manufacturers are just struggling to figure out.
Steve, what do you see as most important here on the business side for the investors who are thinking about Apple here, especially as we get closer to WWDC, where we get a look at the software innovation that Apple expects to build into the next iPhones? What kind of signals are most important?
Yeah, honestly, all the skepticism about 5G, well warranted, and Joanna is totally right about that. But what we do know is it moves phones. It spurred the last catalyst of a super cycle of the iPhone. And now they get a chance to see if that can translate over to the lower end of the market. And to Joanna's point, look, they're going after the lower end of the market, which only had 5% market share on the iPhone side versus all those cheap Android phones we have. So putting out a new 5G capable phone really has that kind of marketing swag that they need to kind of convince people maybe to upgrade from a cheaper Android phone. And that's how they get those users ahead of all those software updates you just talked about. As we know, they like to pack in more services on top of these phones to just squeeze as much out as they can.
Yeah, bringing more people into the ecosystem, sort of similar, Joanna, to what you were saying. But is there a bit of a narrative violation here? I mean, since the SE's debut, the top three markets have been the U.S., Japan, and Western Europe. How does it get into other markets where iPhones may be less represented versus the budget Android models?
Yeah, no, I think people underestimate how popular that phone is in the U.S. market, again, because people hate change and people want to hold on to that home button. There's a reason that they still keep making this old phone. And I really do think it is to hit that market as well in the U.S. But to answer your question about broadening now to other emerging markets and beyond that, price, right? There's certainly been some thoughts about them bringing down the price from $399 to $299. I'm not sure we're going to see that today. I think this gives the Apple that sort of that $399 spot. It gives the carriers, at least again in the U.S., the ability to bring down that price with deals. I think beyond that, when people think about emerging markets, they can also think about this sort of step in. So where the AirPods or the watch also sort of sweeten the deal. But yeah, I can't tell you exactly how Apple's thinking. How is this SE going to get them deeper into these countries where they haven't been as successful?